What's up, guys? Welcome back to Poetica with episode 4, and you're here with teaksauce. Once again, I'm just going to do a quick reminder to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. It helps me out a lot and lets you know when I drop new episodes, and let's keep this thing rolling. I thank everybody for their likes and subscriptions and comments so far. Let's keep that going. And with that being said, let's jump into episode 4. Alright, today I think our goal is going to be getting us our cabin finished, as well as our little workshop area with a forge, and let's see how far we get on that, and then maybe do a little bit of exploration around the area, looking for key ingredients for recipes that we need. So yeah, I think we need to cook up at least one more tool. I think we need to get our pickaxe. So let's go try and get us some more copper real quick. Alright, our first piece. This looks like a berry bush. I believe it is. It's wintergreen berry bush. Of course, it's going to rain. Hopefully that will subside by the time we fire up our pit kilns. Alright. Okay, so these are now dried cherries. Let's gather these up. So I like to stand back quite a ways, hold shift, and then right click, and then move my way inwards, because if it picks up one, it kind of makes it a lot of, yeah, just like that. Okay, I'm not going to be able to pick up that last one now until I pick up all the rest of these. Alright. Okay, so we have 30 days now. They're cooled. I put them in the root cellar before I dried them, so it gave them that perk of cooled, which was already a preservation thing. But you'll see now that I can stack that cooled perk or quality, whatever you want to call it, already applied to it. But once we go stick them back in for the third time, let's see if it gives us a triple. We can kind of use that to our advantage. Toss them in there. And it doesn't look like it's going to give us a triple perk. So that's okay, because this is what we're going to do. Get our small vessel. It's got a couple of cherries. So as you can see, these are 10 days. And these are now 30 days. And now they're 61. So you can see the advantage of wanting to preserve these things. Our barrel is filling up. As you can see, it's got 8,340, 50, 60, 70. It's filling up as it rains. That's one thing that you want to do with your barrels, is make sure that they're not covered. And they'll fill up for you with water. If not, you can just run over and if you have it if you have the barrel in your inventory, you can just scoop water out of the river. But if you don't have access to fresh water, this can be a life-saving device for drinking water, like such. Drink out of my jug and collect water out of the barrel. Alright, where were we? Let's see if we can make these apiaries real quick and get these guys out of our inventory. So, apiary, there's two different kinds. You have these Pam's Harvest and the rustic. We're looking for the rustic, which, yes, that's pretty simple. We can make those. We'll make 2 of them, and they will come in handy as well. Which should be fairly easy, actually. Just like that. Get 2 of them. And let's go set them over here somewhere. And the reason we're going to set them away from where we're kind of working is they are rather loud. The bees are busy bees. So you take this, right click, and we'll just place 1 bee in there. And oops, 1 bee in there. And pretty soon we're going to have a lot of honeycomb and 64 bees. They're very reproductive. So that's that. And we got some heavy rain coming down here now. Let's gather some stone while we can't see, and we'll use that to create our forge base. We get enough to make 6, 7 total. That's alright, so this is the minimum requirement to make a forge. I believe, you know, it's covered. This block is actually covered by that leaf, so it might just work. You'll need 8 pieces of charcoal. And throw those 8 pieces of charcoal in there. I'm scared. Let's give it a shot. It's been a while since I made one of these. Okay, it's 8 pieces. There you go. You have yourself a charcoal forge. And you can add more charcoal to it. And the best part about this is you can cook in it. It cooks nice and fast. And it also gives you a charcoal grilled. Yeah, see that? Perk charcoal grilled. It gives you a little bit more nutrition. That's that. We have ourselves the base to our forge here. Our little workshop. While we're at it, and while we have the rain, actually, we need to hurry and do this. Let's use these white beam logs. And create a couple barrels. We'll need 3 in total. And we're going to place them right here in a row. Get set up for our leather making. So yeah, this is going to be our little workshop. We'll have our blacksmith area here, our leather tanning and production area here, And probably move all of our workbench over to this area right here. Yep. Let the rain do its job and fill those up. Alright, now that it's daytime, let's go on a little trek. Gather some more wood. Keep an eye out for a couple other things. Check our fish traps. Empty. Ooh. Scored. Alright. We have some thatch already, so we don't need to worry about that. We have done a little bit of exploration over in this area, but we haven't gone too far. Gotta watch out for bears and other predators while we're out here, but mostly the bears because it's the middle of the day and they don't care. They're just jerks. They will attack you in the day or the night. Let's see what we got here. I think this is the calcite, which is going to be useful here in the near future. So might as well just keep that. Take that one as well. Looks like we have some gold. Let's just keep kind of exploring the neighborhood here and see what we have in the vicinity of our homestead as far as natural resources. That right there is a mountain lion, but the good thing is it's the middle of the day, so it shouldn't attack us. Here's some more of that sugar cane I was talking about. So this stuff is very valuable, and you can technically replant it and maybe grow and harvest a little extra. A lot of times it doesn't grow the way that you would like it to grow, so I tend to just find it in the world and harvest it. Something has gone to town in here and killed a bunch of stuff. We'll want this bladder. I'd rather have the bladder over some of this other stuff it's given us. So with our leather, we can make ourselves a drinking flask, a leather flask. That'll be a little more resilient than those clay pot jugs. Alright, we got to get back home and get us some food cooking before we starve to death. Let's see if I can, we kind of made a big loop here. What's this? Looks like it's some kind of bush. I don't know if I want to get rid of that. Let's get rid of the bone. Gooseberry bush. Some ruins. A crate as well. Alright, so this is one of the crates I was talking about in like episode 1. Let's get rid of our rock knife and collect this crate. Or maybe let's open. There we go. That's what we'll do. We can store a bunch of stuff in there. Apparently not the logs. Close her up. And then break it. And now we can pick that up. Now we should be able to collect the rest of these. Let's see if there's another base somewhere, but we need to hurry because the sun's going down. We're going to get caught out here in the bush. But now I'm getting lost. And we're hungry. I can't sprint, so if we run across the bear, we might just die. Got us a deer. I don't know where we are. We've gotten ourselves lost out here in the bush. That's not good. Alright, well, we came from that direction, right? So we'll want to backtrack that way, but we're going to have to rough it out here in the woods for the night. Get us a piece of thatch. Alright, so we got one piece of thatch already. That's good. Looks like we got us a couple pieces of, or a couple of seeds from our ruins back there. We'll check those out once we get the fire going. Alright, now I added a piece of thatch or kindling to our fire. Let's see if that helps. Look at that, first try. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the thatch helps increase your chances of creating a fire. Broccoli seeds. So broccoli seeds, these are the first seeds that we've collected in the world, and I'll discuss this a little bit. If you hold shift, it'll show you that the rainfall for this crop is 150 to 410, and the temperature is 9 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. If we push our F3 menu and check our area that we're in right now, if I can get it to pull up, our current rainfall in this position that we're at is at 324. If you look at the very bottom right hand corner, it says rainfall 324.36. Our temperature is 17.6. Our average temperature is 0.8, minimum is -15, and max is 17.9. So we go back, hit shift, and as you can see, we should be able to grow this broccoli. Well, we made it through the night, and let's try and head back to the homestead and find our way through the forest. Alright, well, sun's up, we've had breakfast, let's hydrate, and begin our journey back through the forest. Pretty sure we came from this direction. So let's see if the sun's coming up over there, so that's the east. Which makes me think that, well, we traveled west from our original spawn point to get to our homestead. And if we're traveling west now, we left west from the homestead. I wonder if our homestead is actually just over the hill. Oh man, that is creepy. There he is. Being hunted by a mountain lion, cougar, or puma, depending on where you live in the world. They're all the same animal. So yeah, let's try and head back east, just in case. we'll see if that takes us back to our homestead. See, that's one of those moments where the sun can save you. There was turkeys by our homestead, so maybe we're going the right way. There's these crops. This is barley. We had barley near the homestead. Man, I'm bummed. Got that mountain lion going again. There's another one or something. Well, we went back. We went back east or west. So now let's head. Oh, look at that. There she is. That's a good feeling. Alright, so where are we relative? So if that's the homestead, that's where we went. We came all the way around. So we have more barley over there and there. We'll need to remember that come fall when we can go harvest those crops. This is more of an exploration episode. That's probably what it's going to end up being. We did create our forge, which is nice. The rain has stopped, so let's go fire up our pit kiln and get us our bronze pickaxe going here. Let's get our cassiterite. Need our copper, don't we? Let's throw our copper up in here. A piece of cassiterite and see what. 89 and 10.6. What is our ratio for bronze? Oh, we should be good. In fact, yeah, that reminds me, I actually made a mistake and told somebody on the Discord that their ratio was incorrect. I apologize to the Neo Limits. Shout out to you. I misinformed you. I'm sorry. And I'm glad to hear that you figured out what the problem, which is you needed a bellows for your forge, which maybe we'll get around to that. Maybe this episode, but probably not. It'll probably be next episode, the rate we're going. So let's go ahead and stack both of those in there. So I think we're going to try and get our chisel and our pickaxe and a couple of screws. We need some sticks. Ooh, we got fire clay from our ruins over there. That's awesome. In fact, that's enough to make us a crucible to put on our forge. That's a big advancement. We could throw that on there, and this may be the last pit kiln that we'll ever do, to be honest. Let's quickly add that up. Yep, that's all it takes. We might as well make that right now. Unfired crucible. Which I guess we'll have to... Nope. No, let's not worry about that right now, because this went out. And this one is the one that we want to put our bronze axe in. And our chisel. And we want to quick swap out for new. Oh, come on, where is it? Oh, hopefully they all threw it in there. Let's see if we got everything here. Yep, looks like we got it. Yeah, these sticks don't work very well, so that's why I made these nail molds, so that we can make these tongs. Right here. Alright, so now we got tongs for future metallurgy stuff. Alright guys, let's move on with our next goal today, and that is, now that our barrels are full, getting us some leather working going here. So in order to do leather working, we are going to need some lime water as well as some tannin. We are dying of thirst. So, lime water, that calcite that we picked up earlier, that's going to come in handy for that. But we can't turn that into what we need to until we use this here chisel. And we'll have to create ourselves another mallet. So let's do that real quick. I'm going to throw the mallet up here in our offhand. Type in the word tannin down here. You'll select this and it'll show you which logs: common oaks, junipers, beech. So we already have juniper, we can use that. Douglas fir. These should be juniper logs over here. Yes, they are. So we're going to take one of these logs and throw it in this last barrel, I believe. Close it up and it'll say that it's creating tannin. And then we'll leave that. In order to make our lime water, well, first of all, let's do this. Leather, okay? So this is what the leather looks like. In order to get leather, you need to make tannin. Prepared, small prepared hide with tannin creates leather. How do you make tannin? With fresh water and what we just did, okay? Now we got to backtrack real quick. So we go to here. We got small prepared hide. How do we make a small prepared hide? You get a small soaked hide and a small scraped hide. It's a small soaked. You have lime water. Click on that. How do you get lime water? You have fresh water and flux. Okay? So how do you get flux? Flux can be created by all these different things, okay? This corn recipe and grindstone is what we're going to be working on next, okay? So we go grindstone. That's the horse one. Which, if you click on it, it's going to pull up the same thing. We're making this corn, so that's how you can find that if you can't remember how to spell corn. But Everybody has heard of grindstone. We're going to need corn as well as a corn handstone. You're going to need raw stone and smooth stone. And the smooth stone is why we need the chisel. And we got some more raw here as well. So let's go to get that. And let's leave that boulder there for looks. Seen some more boulders over here. Or you know what, we could use we're going to be using this anyways, so might as well chop these out here. And I'm going to right click with the chisel. I don't know if that does it with those ones. It's got to be a solid piece. That'll give us our smooth stone. But you have to use a pickaxe, so that's why we made a pickaxe and our chisel. Here, that's going to be our chimney. So we got our 3 smooth stone, and now we need our 6 raw. Some more copper. Now, in order to collect raw stone, we have to collect a floating. It has to be a floating raw piece of stone. In order to do that, all 4 sides have to be excavated. So using your pickaxe, as you'll see, this piece of stone right here has 1, 2, and 3 sides exposed. This 4th side exposed, and now when we pop out this bottom one, we'll check our inventory. You have 1 raw piece of gabbro. Okay. All right. So we'll need 3 raw and 3 smooth. That gets us a corn base. And 3 raw and a stick gets us the handstone. Let's place this here and take the handstone and set on top, just like such. Take this calcite, right click it on the corn, and then right click the handle. It grinds down into calcite powder. Can be used in barrel recipes. So you got hot spring water, calcite powder, makes white dye. So fresh water, and so for every 1 thing of calcite powder, it'll turn 500 units of water into lime water. 500 units of lime water, okay? So a barrel can hold 10,000 units. 10,000 divided by 500 equals 20. So you'll need 20 pieces of calcite powder, okay? So we'll just keep cranking down. I might have to go back and get some more of this calcite. Good thing we can remember where that is, because that's all we got right there. We got 9, so we'll need about halfway there. So we got our tannin. There we go, tannin's ready. And yeah. So when the morning comes, we'll run back over there and get us some more calcite and finish off this build. And then we'll get us some leather and make a flask and a bellows, and probably call that an episode. Just because that was pretty productive. We were making some good advancements on our property. So for the rest of the night, let's move our crafting station. Us our campfire. Alright, the campfire, the cool thing about it, it never goes out and it gives you this cool smoke effect. So that was the objective there. Check our traps for food, see if we need to go hunting. Look at that. Every time. See how effective these traps are? Alright. There it is. Ooh, just barely enough, one extra. Let's toss those in there. Close her up. Oh, it automatically just changes right to lime water. That's nifty. Let's throw in our raw hides. Yep, there we go. So this is the order. You want lime, fresh, and then tannin. So lime water is going to give you soaked hides. Hot boy here. We'll fix that later. From what I remember, I believe if you use some type of lava, or I guess geothermal source stone, it should work. It's been a while since I've made one, so apologize that last mistake. Take your hammer and right click and see how I chopped it down. Now right click again. You have your anvil interface. We have ourselves a basic blacksmithing shop and leather shop. Medium soaked hides. leather than I thought we were gonna. I forgot that we get 2 pieces of leather per prepared hides. Or actually, it depends on, that's for medium hides. It depends on what size of hide you use. Alright, now that we got some leather, let's move on with our projects. So the first thing that we're wanting is a bellows. And here's our recipe. So 6 pieces and 3 pieces of leather. That's our bellows. Like such. Bellows. And now we need one of our knives. Put the knife in our offhand like this. And right click on our leather, and now we nap it just like a stone, but I'll need these other 2 pieces to finish the flask. So we need a flask side, which is the same recipe as a javelin, except for you chop off these top 2 pieces right there. In order to make a leather flask, we're going to need our string. We got our bladder. So let's go harvest our cotton over here. Quick check these. This is stage 5, which I think that's... Yeah. We got ourselves a cotton ball. I think a couple on that one. So we got 3 seeds and 5 cotton balls. So our sources of string can be wool or cotton or flax, a couple other items. We need a piece of clay. Swap that out. We need a stick and a piece of clay. That creates this spindle. But that spindle has to be fired, so that's what we'll do over here, is we can fire our spindle and our crucible. We'll load up on our charcoal, light her up. Our leather is ready. That's nice. Oops, hold on. We need to put our tongs in our offhand so that we can grab both of these. And we can just throw them right here in our barrel. Cool them down. Where'd our crucible go? Oh, there it is. Oh, the crucible doesn't need to be cooled. Alright, so now that the crucible's done, you just, let's see, we might have to set that there for a sec. There we go. Now the crucible is in place. We can melt ores down into here. As you can see, the crucible's temperature is now rising. Alright, so we have our 2 vessels. Okay, it says it's warming, very hot. Okay, right now we have 30 units of solid and pretty much, well, we have 15 and 30. Once it melts and becomes a liquid, it'll drain over into this pot that will hold that bronze and free up our vessels for other uses. While that's heating, let's get the other side to our flask prepared, like such. Find that bladder. Where's the bladder? There it is. Then we'll need a stick and we're going to need a stick and that spindle head. Alright, a spindle and a stick creates the spindle. We're going to combine our spindle with our cotton balls. Makes cotton yarn. And now we should be able to, let's check this. Alright, so they're empty. We now have 45 units of bronze sitting in our crucible. We'll just let that turn off and cool down before we grab those vessels. And one last thing before the end of the episode. Let's craft this. Let's craft this flask. I probably am setting it up incorrectly. Nope. Alright, so this is your recipe, and now that replaces your water jugs with a leather flask that holds more water than the jugs, and it's repairable as long as you just have a bladder. Alright guys, that I think concludes our episode for today. Appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for episode 5. And don't forget to hit that like and subscription button. I've seen a few subscriptions come in. They are truly appreciated. And stick around for episode 5.